Minecraft, the game of endless possibilities. I mean, that's literally in the game description. Prepare for an adventure of limitless possibilities. It's the first thing you see when you go to download the game. Yet, a lot of things don't make sense. For example, an anvil can not only be held up, but broken by a torch. I mean, this is a chunk of iron that's made up of 2,500 kilogram cubic feet of iron and 4 bars, each weighing 278 kilograms based on their real world equivalents. This means that an 8,612 kilogram anvil is being held up by a small torch, not even a meter tall. Those physics aside, does Minecraft World, and more specifically, do minecarts, follow the laws of conservation of energy? Today, I'll be figuring that out. The first test for conservation of momentum is the simplest one. Send a minecart going 8 meters per second at a stationary minecart. I set this up by setting one minecart in the middle of a 20 block long track, and then sent a full speed minecart at it over a span of 10 blocks. Once I fired the minecart, something weird happened. The moving minecart collided with the stationary one, and they both bounced off of each other with the same velocity of 1.70 meters per second. Basically, a full-speed minecart with 11,120 newton-seconds of momentum hit a minecart with 0 newton-seconds of momentum, and the remaining forces were 2,363 newton-seconds per minecart in opposite directions. Adding these forces together, we get 0 newtons of force, and 0 doesn't equal 11,120. Therefore, conservation of momentum was not achieved. The next test I used to see what would happen if I sent 2 identical minecarts at each other at the same time at the same speed. The end result was pretty much the same as I expected, with the carts hitting each other and bouncing off each other at the same speed. Therefore, I didn't learn a ton more than I already knew. The interesting thing is that these carts bounced off each other at 1.77 meters per second, faster than the last set. Now, things get a lot more interesting when you take momentum into account. In this case, we came into it with 11,120 newton-seconds of momentum coming from different directions, which gives us 0 newton-seconds. And the carts then bounced off of each other with 2,460 newton-seconds of force in opposite directions, also giving us 0 newton-seconds. This means that in this case, conservation of momentum was actually achieved. The final test with empty minecarts was a dropper track. This way, I could measure the momentum given to the last minecart if they're traveling at different speeds. The top minecart had a speed of 3.8 meters per second, while the bottom minecart had a speed of 5 meters per second. They then latched together and went at a total speed of 7.8 meters per second. The momentum at the top minecart was therefore 5,282 newton-seconds, and the momentum of the bottom minecart was 6,950 newton-seconds. The final momentum of both of the minecarts together was 21,684 newton-seconds. The combined momentum of the minecarts before they locked together was 12,232 newton-seconds. This means that the conservation of momentum was not conserved, as 12,232 newton-seconds does not equal 21,684 newton-seconds. All in all, from my tests, Minecraft does not follow the law of conservation of momentum. And honestly, I'm not surprised. It is a game of building and fighting, not physics and math, so I'm surprised one of them even worked out well. I also did this after school with terrible Wi-Fi, my render distance way too high, and as crudely as I could to get raw data as quickly as I could. There are also many errors in how I got and interpreted my data. I had client-side lag, minecarts could be speeding up and slowing down without me realizing it. My method of timing the carts was to take a video and measure it by frames, then counting frames to turn it into seconds. There could be many math errors due to rounding, and I could have had a better setup for the dropper test where the minecart didn't have to fall as far. My advice is to not spend too much time worrying about whether your game follows the conservation of momentum, and instead run around and have a good time with friends. Because math is tedious and minecarts are terrible to work with. Anyways, have a good day and hope you enjoyed my delve into physics.